my niece, I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest.
Uncle, we did dance. Let you tell them I confessed it. But they're speaking of doing that. Betty's not a witch.
Abigail, I did not go into the congregation, and I know you have not been open with me. What did you do with her last night?
We did dance, Uncle, and when you leaped out of the bush so suddenly, Betty was frightened. And then she fainted. And there's the whole of it.
Child, sit down.
I wouldn't ever hurt her. I love them. I love her dearly.
Now look, you child, I have no desire to punish you. That will come in its time. But if you tried with the spirits last night, I must do it. Or surely my enemies will, and they'll ruin me.
But we never conjured spirits.
Then why did she not move herself at midnight? This child is desperate. It must come out. My enemies will bring it out. You do know I have many enemies, do you not?
I think so, sir.
There's a faction in this church that has sworn to drive me from my fold. But do you understand it?
I know it, Uncle.
Now then, in the midst of such disruption, my own household is discovered to be the very center of some obscene
It's our only sport, Uncle.
I saw Tituba waving her arms over the fire when I came on you, and the screeching and gibberish noise coming from her mouth. Why was she doing that?
She always sings her Barbados song. And we dance.
I cannot blink when I saw Abigail, or my enemies will not blink. I saw a dress lying in the grass.
A dress?
Aye, a dress. And I thought I saw someone naked.
No one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I saw it. Now tell me true, Abigail. My ministry's at stake. My ministry and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abomination you've done last night, give it to me now, where it dare not be taken unaware when I go before them down there.
There is nothing more. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, I have fought here 3 long years to bend these stiff-necked people to me. And now, when there's just some good respect for me in the parish, you compromise my very character. I've given you a home, child. I put clothes upon your back. Now give me an upright answer. Your name in the village. It is entirely white, is it not?
Why, I am sure it is, sir. There be no blush about my name.
Abigail, is there any other reason that you have told me for Goody Proctor discharging you? It has troubled me that you are now 7 months outside their house. And since that time, no other family has ever called for your services.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them.
No, I cannot. Why, Goody Putnam, come in.
It is a marvel. It is surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Goody Putnam, it's...
How high did she fly? How high?
She never flew.
Why, sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over Ingersoll's farm and come down light as a bird and say,
Now look, you Goody Putnam, she never... Well, Mr. Putnam, good morning.
it is a providence you're looking about now. It is a providence.
What's up, sir?
What we're looking at. Her eyes is closed. Why, that's strange. Ours is open.
Your little Ruth is...
I do not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death driving into her forked hooves.
Oh, pray not. Why, how does your child ail?
She ails as she must. She never wakes this morning, and hears not, sees not, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken, surely. They say you sent for Reverend Taylor Beverly.
A precaution only. He has much experience in all demonic arts, and I...
He has indeed, and found a witch in Beverly last year, and let you remember that.
Now, Goody Ann, they only thought that we're a witch, and I am certain that there is no element of witchcraft here. No witchcraft. Now look, Mr. Harris. Thomas, I pray you, leap not to witchcraft. I know that you least of all, Thomas, would ever with such a disastrous charge laid upon you. We cannot live to leap to witchcraft. They will hallow me out of Salem for such corruption in my house. Now look, Mr. Harris, I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue, but I cannot if you lay back in this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands on these children. But Thomas, you cannot. Tell Mr. Harris what you've done.
Reverend Harris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in this church. And believe me, sir, you never saw more hardy babies born. Yet each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. I spoke nothing, but my heart has clamored in amazement. And now, this year, my Ruth, my only... I see her turning strange. A secret child she has become this year, and shriveled like a sucking mouse will pull out her life, too. And so I thought to send her to your Crucible.
Tituba? What makes
Crucible
Tituba?
knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Perry.
Goody Ann, it is a formidable sin to conjure up the dead.
God, take it out of my soul! But who else may surely tell me who murdered my baby?
Woman!
It was Margaret, Mr. Harris, and not this Bruce Market. The last man
in song, but say nothing of witchcraft. The cause is yet unknown. I will not discuss it. I've had much contention since I came. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth. Do you hear? Aye, Mom.
If she starts with a window, cry for me at once.
Yes, Uncle.
There is a terrible power in her arms today.
How is Ruth sick?
It's weird. I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night.
Betty, now sit up, Betty. Stop this. Betty, knock this off.
Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one last night. Lump her for a moment. Let me try.
No, you'll be coming up. Now look, you. If they be questioning us, tell them we can. I told them as much already.
And what more?
He saw you naked.
Oh no. What do we do? The whole village is out. What do we do? The whole country's talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby. They'll be calling us witches, Abby. You need to tell. I know it. We've got to tell. We've done anyway. That idiot presented Boston 2 years ago. We must have the truth, Abby. We'll only be there for dancing.
Oh, we'll be witched.
I've never done none of it. I only look.
Oh, you're a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren? Betty! Betty, dear, wake up now. Stop this. It's Abigail. Betty, I'll beat you. Betty! My, you seem improving. I talked to your papa and I told him everything, so there's nothing to worry about. I want my mama! Betty, what ails you? Your mom said Barry. Oh, what? Mercy! I told him everything. He knows now. He knows everything. You take blood, Abby! You take blood! You never say that! You will never say that again! You did! You drank and tried to kill that dragon's life! You drank and tried to kill it! You tried to shut it! I say shut it! Now look, you, all of you. If they be questioning us, tell them we did. And to do the contribution Putnam's dead sisters, and that is all. And mark this, that either to breathe a word, or the edge of a word, and I will come to you in the black and terrible night. And I will bring a point of reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillow next to mine, and I have seen some wretched work done at night. And I can make you wish you never saw the sun go down. Now you! Sit up and stop this! What's wrong, Abby? Shut it, Mary Warren! I say shut it! Oh, I'm just going home, Mr. Papa.
Be you foolish, Mary Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you come to Salem, did I not?
I only come to see the great doings in the world.
I'll show you a great doing on her behind one of these days. Now get you home with my work. My wife is waiting there.
I must be off. I have my wristwatch. Good morning, Mr. Prosper.
She's only gone silly somehow. She'll come out of it.
So she flies, eh? Where are her wings?
Oh, John, sure you're not believing she flies.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, Posh! We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle moved in on us. She took fright, and that is all.
Dancing by moonlight.
John, give me a word. A soft word.
No, Abby. I've not come for that.
You come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly? I know you better.
I come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now.
John, I am waiting for you every night.
No, Abby. You'll put it out of mind. I'll not be coming for you more.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know how you clutch my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I came here. I saw your face when she put me out, and you loved me then, and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things. I have seen you since she put me out. I have seen you nice.
Abby, I have hardly stepped off my farm this 7 months.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
Perhaps I have.
I know you, John. I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream, but I wake and walk about the house till I find you coming through some door.
Child.
How do you call me child?
Abby, I may have thought of you softly, but I'll cut off my hand before I'll ever reach for you again. Put it out of mind. We never touched, Abby.
Aye, but we did.
Aye, but we did not.
Oh, I marvel how such a strong man can simply
Don't
flesh.
speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She is telling lies about me. She is a cold, sniveling woman, and you bend to her. Let her
You
go.
look coming?
I looked for John Proctor that took knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I was taught by all these Christian women and their covenanted men. And now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes? I will not! I cannot! You loved me, John Proctor, and whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me. Pity me. Betty! Betty!
What is she doing?
Betty! Betty,
Stop that wailing. What is it? What are you doing to her?
She hurt you, Betty! She's up and screaming. Don't open so. She cannot bear it. It won't name.
No, God forbid.
Mark it for a sign. Mark it.
That is no notorious sign of witchcraft and flow. A prodigious sign.
My mother told me that. But they cannot bear to hear the name of the...
Rebecca, come to her. You're lost. Something cannot bear to hear the Lord's name. There's a heart secret here, Josh, boy, so please keep it quiet. I've not said a word. No one here can testify I've said a word. If she's going to fly again, I hear she's lied. Man, be quiet.
What have you done?
Pray, calm yourself. I have 11 children and 26 times a grandma. I have seen them all through their silly seasons. And when it come on them, they will run the devil's old lady keeping up with their mischief. I think she'll wait when she has it. A child's spirit is like a child. You can never catch it by running after it. You must stand still. For love. Herself. Come back.
That's the truth of it, Rebecca.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My roof is bewildered. Rebecca, she is not sleep.
Perhaps she is not hungry yet. I hope we're not deciding to go into her spirit. I've heard promise of that outside.
There is a wide opinion running in the parish. The devil may be among them, and I was satisfied that they are wrong. Then let you come out and call them wrong. Are you a minister of Mr. Hale? Did you consult the wardens of the church before you brought that man here to look for devils? He's not coming to look for devils. Then what's he coming for? There'll be children dying in the village, mister. I see none dying.
Pray, John, be calm. Mr. Paris, I think it is best that the Reverend Hale back soon as he comes. This will set us all to argument in the society, and we thought to have peace this year. I think we ought to rely on Dr. Briggs now. And good prayer.
Rebecca, the doctor is baffled.
If so be it is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. There is prodigious danger in the seeking of loose spirits. I fear it, I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves.
How may we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons. What was these people to Christ? And yet I have the one child left of 8. And now she's yours.
I cannot fathom that.
You think it's God's work you should never lose a child? Nor a grandchild either? And we lose all but one?
When Mr. Hale arrives, we'll proceed to look for signs of witchcraft here. You cannot command, Mr. Paris. We vote by name in this society, not by acreage. I've never seen you so worried on this society, Mr. Proctor. I also do not think I've seen you as savage as snow. I have trouble enough without I come 5 miles to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. There are many others who stay away from church these days because he hardly ever mentions God anymore. Well, that's a drastic charge!
Somewhat true. There are many that quail to bring their children.
I do not preach for children, Rebecca. It is not for children who are unmindful of their obligations toward this ministry. Where is my wood? My contract provides us with all of my firewood, and yet I am waiting this November for even a stick. And even in November, I have to show my frost-bitten hand like some London beggar. You are allowed 6 pounds a year to buy your wood, Mr. Paris. I am paid little enough that I spend 60 pounds on firewood. The salary is 66 pounds, Mr. Proctor. And I am not some preaching farmer with a book under my arm. I'm a graduate of Harvard College. I am well instructed in mathematics. And Mr. Corey, you will look put out like a cat whenever some majority feels the wind. You people seem not to comprehend that a minister is the Lord's man in the parish. A minister is not to be so lightly crossed as contradicted time. There's even obedience in the church was burned like hell is burning.
There we go with hell again. I am sick of hell.
It is not for you to say what is good for you to hear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
What? Are we Quakers? We are not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor, and you may tell that to your followers.
My followers.
Yes, your followers. There's a faction in this church. I am not lying. There's a faction and a party.
Against you.
Against him and Paul, of course.
Well then, I must find it and join it.
He could not mean that.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority. I have a crop to sow and lumber to drive home. What say you, Giles? Let's find that party. He says there's a party.
I've changed my opinion of this man. I beg your pardon, Mr. Perez. Never thought you had so much iron in you.
Thank you, Giles.
Is it just to the mind what's the trouble being among us all these days? Think on it. Wherefore is everybody doing everybody else? I have been 6 times in court this year.
Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say you good morning without you clap him for defamation? You're old, Giles, and you're not hearing as well as you did.
John Proctor, I have only last month collected £4 damages for you publicly saying I turned the roof off your house and
I never said no such thing. But I paid you for it, so I hope I can call you debt without charge. What say you, Giles? Will you drag my lumber home?
I'll be damned first. A moment, Mr. Proctor. What lumber is that you drag home, if I may ask?
My lumber, from out my forest by the riverside.
Why, we are surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? That tract is in my house. It's in my house, Mr. Proctor.
In your grounds, I bought that tract from Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
He had no right to sell it. It stands clear in my father's will, all the land between the river and the pass.
Your father had a habit of ruling away land that never belonged to him, if I may say it plainly.
That's God's truth. He never willed away my no taxes, but he knew I'd break his fingers before he sent his name to it. Come, John, let's get your lumber home. There's a will to work coming on. You load one oak of mine and you'll fight to drag it home. Aye, and we'll win too, madam. This woman and I. Come on. I'll clap a writ on you, Corey. I'll have my men on you. Pray someone take these. Oh, Mr. Hale, it's good to see you again. They must be. They're weighted with authority. Well, you do come prepared. We shall need hard study if it comes to backing down the old boy. You cannot be Rebecca nervous.
I am, sir. You know me?
Strange how I knew you, but I suppose you look at such a good soul too. We have all heard of your great courage and bravery. Do you know this man, Mr. Thomas Putnam, my good wife, Anne? I had not expected such distinguished company. It does not seem to help us today. We look to you to come to our house and save our child. Your child knows too.
Her soul seems blown away. She sleeps and yet she walks. She cannot eat.
Cannot. You men also have afflicted children? No. No, these are farmers. John Proctor. You don't believe in witches?
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Will you come, Giles?
No. No, John. I have a few queer questions of my own to ask this fellow.
I heard you be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I hope you'll read some of it in favor.
Will you look at my daughter, sir? We discovered her this morning on the high road, waving her arms as though she was flying.
Tries to fly.
She cannot bear to do the Lord's name, Mr. Hale. That's a sure sign of witchcraft, Miss Lowe.
No. Now let me instruct you. You must not look for superstition. The devil's precise. The march of his presence is definite as stone. You must look only for his proper signs and judge nothing beforehand. And let me tell you this, I will not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me if I should find no trace of helplessness.
It is agreed, sir. It is agreed. You will abide by your judgment.
Good then. Now, sir, what were your first warning of this stranger?
Why, sir, I discovered her and my niece Abigail and 10 or 12 of the other girls dancing last night in the forest.
You permit that?
No, it was secret.
Mr. Pearson's slave has knowledge of conjuring, sir.
We cannot be
is all the invisible world, caught, defined, and calculated. In these books, the devil stands stripped of all his brute disguises. Here are all your familiar spirits, your incubi and succubi, your witches that go by land, by air, and by sea, your wizards of the night and of the day. Fear not, for we shall find him if he has come among us, and I mean to crush him utterly if he dare show his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's book, we may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I think I'll go then. I am too old for this.
But Rebecca, we may only have to boil all our troubles today.
Let us hope for that. I hope God will sir.
We hope this tale clean and free of the state.
I wish I knew.
Come, Mr. Hale, let's go. Take you here. I have always wanted to ask you, young man, what signifies the reading of strange books?
What book?
I cannot tell. She hides them.
Who does?
Martha, my wife. I've waked at night many times and found her in the corner reading of a book. Now, what do you make of that?
Why, that's not
It just
necessary.
comforts me. Last night, Martha, I tried and tried and could not pay my bed. Then she closed the book and walked out of the house, and suddenly, Martha, I could pray again.
Ah, the stoppage of prayer. That is strange. I'd like to speak further on this with you.
No, I'm not saying she's touched by the devil now, but I'd like to know what book she's reading and why she hides them. I'm not answering you.
Aye, we'll discuss it. Now, mark me, if the devil is truly in her, you will witness some frightful wonders in this room tonight. So please, keep your wits about you. Mr. Putnam, stand close in case she flies. Now, Betty dear, can you sit up? Can you hear me? I am John Hale, Mr. Beverly. I've come to help you, dear. You remember my two little girls, Beverly?
How could it be the devil? Why did he choose my house to strike?
What victory would the devil have to win a soul already had? It's the best the devil wants, and who is better than a minister?
That is deep, Mr. Perry.
Child, does someone afflict you? It need not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Some bird, perhaps, invisible to others, comes through. A pig, perhaps, or any beast at all. Is there some figure that you fly? In nomine Domini Sabaoth, sui filique it ad infernos. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all, sir.
I think I have to say that I saw kettle in the grass when you were dancing.
That were only soup.
Soup? What sort of soup were in the kettle, Abigail?
Why, it was beans and lentils, I think.
Mr. Paris, you did not notice, did you, any living thing in the soup? A mouse, perhaps, a spider, a frog?
Oh, that frog jumped in. We never put it in.
A frog, Abigail.
We never put it in.
Abigail, it may be your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him. Tuba called him.
She called the devil?
I should like to speak with you.
Goody Ann, would you bring her up?
How did she call him?
I know not. She spoke Barbados.
Did you feel a strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind, perhaps? A trembling below the ground?
I didn't see no devil. Betty, wake up. Betty.
Not You must have no fear to tell us their names. We will protect you. The devil can never overcome a ministry. You know that, do you not?
Oh, bless you, my son.
You have confessed, and that speaks a wish to come to heaven's side. We will bless you. You are God's instrument, put in our hands to help discover the devil's agents among us. You are chosen, because you are selected to help us cleanse our village. So speak utterly. Speak utterly and turn your back on it. Face God. Face God.
Oh,
because
God
will
protect
you.
us.
Who came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4. How many?
There were 4. There were 4.
Who?
Their names. Their names!
Oh, how many times he did me to kill you, Mr. Paris?
Kill me.
He said Mr. Paris must be killed. Mr. Paris no good to man. Mr. Paris mean man, no gentleman. And he bid me to rise out of my bed and cut your throat. Cause I tell him no. I say I don't hate that man. I don't want to kill that man. But he said, you work for me to do, and I'll make you free. I'll give you pretty dress to wear, and you fly way higher than the air. That's my Bob baby. And I say, you lie, devil, you lie. And then he talked to me one stormy night, and he said, look, I have white people that belong to me. And I looked, and there was Goody.
Sarah Good.
I saw, and Goody Osborne.
Goody Osborne, I knew it. I begged you, Thomas, did I not? I begged you not to tell Osborne because I feared her. My baby girl is shriveled in her hands.
Take courage. You must tell us all their names. Look at these little children. How can you bear to see them suffer? Look at them. They're God-given innocents. Their souls are soldiers. We must protect them, but the devil is out preying upon them like a beast upon the flesh of a dear lamb. God will bless you.
I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. Oh. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil. I saw John Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Hell with the devil.
She speaks! She speaks! Glory to God. It is broken. They are free.
I saw Goody Hawkins with the devil. I saw Martha Bellows with the devil. I saw Goody Simmer with the devil.
The marshal. I'll call the marshal.
Let the marshal bring iron.
I saw Al Ferris with the devil. I saw Mr. Barton with the devil. I saw Goody Plank with the devil. I saw Goody Franklin with the devil. I saw Goody Cobb with the devil. I saw them.
What gives you so ready? It's almost dark.
I replanted far out to the forest edge.
Oh, you are gunmen?
Aye, the farm is seated. The boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye,
Are you well today?
I am. It was a rabbit.
Who is it? In Jonathan's trap.
No, she walked into the house this afternoon. I found her sitting in a corner like she'd come to visit.
That's a good sign walking in.
Great gosh, it hurts my heart to strip her, poor rabbit.
It is well to be with.
I took great care. She is tender.
I think we'll see green fields soon. The woman's blessing is one.
That's well.
If the crop is good, I'll buy George Jacobs' timber. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you.
I know it, John.
Tyler,
Aye.
the thorn's the continent when you go walking foot by foot drop the feet.
It must be.
On Sunday, let you come with me, and we'll walk the farm together. I never see such a load of flowers. Massachusetts is beauty in spring.
Aye, it is.
I think you're sad again. Are you?
You come so late. I thought you'd gone to Salem this afternoon.
I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going. Earlier this week.
I
thought better of it, sis.
Mary Warren, there, Bill.
Why'd you let her? You heard me forbid her go to Salem.
I couldn't stop her.
It isn't false. It is a fault, Elizabeth. You're the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all my strength away.
How may that mouse frighten you?
It is no mouse no more. I forbid her go. And she raised up her chin like the daughter of her prince and said to me, I must go to Salem Cracker. I am an official of the court.
Court. What court?
I, it is a proper court they have now. They sent 4 judges out of Boston, she said, waiting magistrate of the general court. And at the head is the deputy governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
I never thought she would. There'll be 14 people in the jail now, she said. And they'll be tried. And the court got power to hang them too, she said.
They've never.
The deputy governor promised hanging if they're not set, John. It sounds gone well, that is. Mary Warren had to know, so she went dating with her. She brings the other girls into the court, and where she walks, the crowd apart to see for Israel. As folks are brought before them, and Abigail screams and cries, and Father floors, the person present shall for bewitching her.
Oh, it is a blasphemous sin.
John, let me go to Salem. We must cover this with fraud.
Aye, it is. It is surely.
Let your boyfriend be guilty. He knows you well. Tell me what she said to do in her uncle's house last week. She said it had nothing to do with witchcraft, did she not?
Aye, she did. She did.
God forbid you keep that to the court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye, they must. They must. It is a wonder that they do believe her.
Let you go now, John. Let you leave tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good then. Let you think on it.
I'm only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. As the girl's such a saint now, the town got so silly. I have no proof for what she told me, Elizabeth. She told it to me in a room alone.
You were alone with her?
For a moment. Aye.
Why then? It is not what she told me.
For a moment, I say. The others come in soon after.
Do as you wish then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion anymore.
I have no.
I'll not have it.
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet?
John, if it were not Abigail that you go to her, would you falter now? I think not.
Now look at you.
I see what I see, John.
Elizabeth, you will not judge me more. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud and Abigail, and I will think on it. Will you look to sometimes for your own improvement, and judge me not? I have forgotten Abigail.
And I.
Spare me. You forget nothing and forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I have gone tiptoe in this house all 7 months since he is gone. And I have not moved from there to there, but I think to please you. And still, an everlasting funeral marches around your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted. Every moment judgment lies as if I come into a court when I come into this house.
John, you're not.
I'll not leave my honesty no more, Elizabeth.
I'm
No more. I should have brought you down when you first told me in suspicion. But I will say, I'm like a Christian, I confess. Some dream I had must have thought mistaken you for God that day. But you're not. You're not. Let you remember it. Let you look sometimes for the good in me, and judge me not.
I do not judge you. The magistrate that sees in your heart judges you. I never thought you but a good man, John. Only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would please me here. How do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you before you ever leave this house again.
I am sick. Oh, I'm sick with this doctor. Pray, pray, hurt me not. My insides are all shuddering. I'm in proceedings all day, sir.
And what are these proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house as you are paid £9 a year to do? And with my wife not wholly well?
I made a great mistake, doctor. I have spent long hours in the chair and half the time in sewing. Well, I thank you. It is a fair profit. We must all walked away and I thought my guts would burst for 2 days after. Do you remember?
Like, I think,
What do I know that it's very possible? And so he asked her, so Victor, what curse do you know that this girl is all big after turning you away?
and she replied, when no curse at all, your excellency, I simply say my commandment.
I hope I may say my commandment, said she.
And that's the upright answer.
But then Judge Hathaway recite for us your commandment. And all the ten, she did not say a single one. She never knew no commandment. They uttered a flat lie.
And so condemned her?
Why, then how could she condemn herself?
But the proof, the proof.
I told you the proof. It's hard proof. Hard as rock, the judges said.
You will not go to that court again, Mary Warren.
Let's tell you, I'll be gone for some time now. I'm surprised not to the way work we do.
What work you do? It's strange work for Christian girls to hang old women.
They'll not hang if they confess. They're a good woman sit in jail sometimes. And here's one for you. Think on this. Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad?
The woman's dead at 60. They had Dr. Riggs examine her, and she's full to the brim. And smoking a pipe all these years. And no husband either. But she's safe. So they'll not hurt an innocent child. But be that not a marvel. You must see it. It's God's work to do. So I'll be gone every day for some time now. I'm an official of the court.
I'll official you.
I'll not stand dripping anymore. The devil's loose in Salem, Mr. Proctor. We must discover where he's hiding.
I'll whip the devil out of you.
I saved her life today. I am accused. You were somewhat mentioned. But I said I never saw no signs. You sent your spirit out to hurt no one. And seeing how it was so close to you, they witness who accused me. I am bound by law. I cannot tell it. I'll hope you're not being so sarcastic no more. For just as the king's deputy sat in clear us but an hour ago. I'll hope you stipulate me from this act.
Go to bed.
I'll not be ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I am 18 and a woman, however single.
You wish to sit up then? Then sit up.
And when you go to bed,
Good night then.
good night. Oh, the news. The news is up.
There will be no news.
She wants me dead, John. I knew all leaders would come to this.
They dismissed it. You heard her say.
And what if tomorrow she will fly me out until they take me?
Sit you down.
John, she wants me dead. You know it.
I say sit down. No, we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed. Indeed.
I'll go and find Ezekiel Cheever tomorrow. I'll tell him she said we're all sport.
John, there's so many in jail now. More is needed now, I think. John, favor me with this. Go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
John, grant me this. You have a faulty understanding of young folks. There's a promise made in any bed.
What promise?
Both her sons, a promise will surely made. She may joke on it now, I am sure. She thinks to kill me, and then to take my place. It is her dearest wish, John. There be such a danger in politics. There be 1,000 names. Why call mine? I am no good that sleeps in ditches. Your eyes are drunk and half witted. She dare not call out such a brown blood when there be a monstrous puppet in it. She thinks to take my place, John.
She cannot think it.
John, have you ever shown her somewhat of contempt? She cannot pass you in the church that she will blush.
I may blush for my sin.
I think she can be another who does not blush.
What see you, Elizabeth? What see you?
I think she is somewhat ashamed. For I am there, and she's so close.
When will you know me, woman? Were I stone, I would have cracked for shame to settle her.
Then go, and tell her she's a whore. And whatever promise she intends, John, break it. Break it.
Good then. I'll go.
Oh, how unwillingly.
I will curse her hotter than the oldest ender in hell, fear not. But pray, begrudge me not my anger.
Your anger? I only...
Woman, am I so base? Do you truly think me base?
I never called you gay.
Then how do you charge me with such a promise? The promise that a stallion gives a mare, I gave that girl.
Then why do you anger with me when I bid you break it?
Because it speaks deceit, and I am honest. But I'll plead no more. I see now that your spirit twists around the single error in my life, and I will never tear it free.
You'll tear it free when you come to realize that I will be your only wife, or no wife at all. She hasn't erred on you yet, Judge Proctor, and you know it well.
Why, Mr. Hale. Good evening. Good evening. Come in, Mr. Hale. Come in. I hope I did not startle you.
No, no. It's only that I heard no report.
You are a good wife talker. Aye, you listen. I hope you're not up to bed yet. No, it's just that we are unaccustomed to visitors after dark. Will you sit? I will. Let you sit, good wife talker. I hope you do not come on the business of the court.
No, no. I come of my own accord, without support. Won't you sit, sir? I'll not keep you long, but I do have some thrown out of the court. I know not if you are aware that your wife's name is mentioned.
Aye. Our Mary Warren told us. We were entirely amazed.
I am a stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance I find it difficult to draw a clear picture of many things. So this afternoon and now tonight I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca Nurse's house.
Rebecca's charge?
God forbid such a one be charged. She is, however, mentioned somewhere.
You would never think, I hope, that Rebecca practices the devil.
Woman, it is possible.
Surely you cannot think.
These are strange times. No man may longer doubt that the powers of the dark are gathering a monstrous attack upon this village. There is too much evidence to deny it. You must surely agree.
I have no knowledge of that line, sir. But I think it strange that so pious a woman be secretly a devil's servant after 70 years of such a good prayer.
But the devil is a wise woman. You cannot deny that. But she is far from it, and I know she will not. I thought to pose some questions as to the Christian character of this house, if you'll permit me.
Right. We have no fear of questioning, sir.
Good then. Now, Mr. Proctor, in the record book that Mr. Parrott keeps, I note that you are rarely in church on the Sabbath.
No, Mr. Hale. You're mistaken.
26 times in 17 months, sir. I must call that rare. But tell me why you were so absent.
I did not know I must account to that man where I come to church or stay at home. My wife was sick this winter.
This I have heard. But you, sir, why did you not come alone?
I surely did when I could, and when I could not, I prayed in this house.
Mr. Proctor, your house is not a church. Surely your theology tells you this.
Aye, it tells me that. But it also tells me that a minister need not pray with golden candlesticks upon the altar.
What golden candlestick?
Since we built that church, there are pewter candlesticks upon the altar. Francis Nerd's neighbor, you know, and Sluderhand never touched them. But then Paris came, and for 20 weeks he preached nothing but golden candlesticks and the gospel. I worked the earth from dawn until dusk, and I tell you this, when I look to heaven and see my money blurring at his elbows, it hurt my prayer, sir. It hurt my prayer.
And yet, on Sabbath day, a Christian must be in church. Tell me, you have 3 children.
5, boys.
How come that only 2 of them are baptized?
I'd like it not that that man laid his hand upon my baby. I see no light of God in that man.
I must say it, Mr. Proctor, that is not for you to decide. The man is ordained, therefore the light of God is in him.
What's your suspicion, Mr. Hale?
No, no, I have no.
I have nailed the roof upon the church. I hung the door. I staved the windows.
Oh, did you?
Surely you cannot think that we ever desired the destruction of religion. I think that's what's in your mind, huh?
I have. There's a softness in your record, sir, a softness.
I think you had to do what I just said. I think so. But sure, we never let the devil hear.
Do you know your commandment, Elizabeth?
I sure do. There be no mark laid upon my life without I'm a covenant Christian woman.
And you, mister?
I am sure I do.
Then let you repeat them if you will.
The commandment?
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill. Aye. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, nor make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain. Thou shalt not take no other gods before me. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not bear a false witness. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
You've said that twice, sir.
Aye.
Adultery, John.
Aye. You see, sir, between the two of us, we do know the law. I think it'd be a small fault.
Mr. Proctor, theology is a fortress. No crack in the fortress will be accounted as small.
There be no love for Satan in this house.
I pray it dearly. I pray it dearly. I'll bid you good night.
Mr. Hell, you are suspecting me somewhat, are you not?
Goody Proctor, I do not judge you. My duty is to add what I can to the godly wisdom of the Lord. I pray you, Crucible, good health and good fortune. Good night, sir.
I think you must tell him, John.
What's that?
Will you tell him?
I have no proof, let my word be taken. But I have knowledge that the children's sickness had not to do with witchcraft.
Not to do?
Mr. Parris discovered them sporting in the woods. They were startled and took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail.
Aye.
Abigail Williams told you it had not to do with witchcraft.
She told me the day you came, sir.
Why did you keep this?
I had not known until today that the town has got so mad with this nonsense.
Nonsense. Mister, I myself have examined the two, but Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and numerous others who have confessed to dealing with the devil. They have confessed it.
And why not if they must hang for denying it? There are them that will swear to anything before they'll hang. Have you ever thought of that?
I have indeed. And this, would you testify to this in court?
I had not reckoned with it going into court. But if I must, I will.
You falter there.
I falter nothing. I do think that my word be taken in such a court. I do wonder if, with such a steady minister as yourself, suspicion a woman that never lies. She cannot lie, and the world knows she cannot.
Mr. Proctor, let you open with me now, for I've heard something which troubles you. It is said that you hold no belief that there may even be witches in the world. Is that true, sir?
I know not what I have said. I may have said it. I have wondered if there be witches in the world.
Then you do not believe?
The Bible speaks of witches, so I will not deny that.
And you, woman?
I cannot believe.
You cannot.
Elizabeth, you bewilder.
I cannot believe the devil may own a woman's soul, Mr. Hell, when she keeps it upright when it's on him. I'm a good woman. I know. And if you think that I may only do good work in the world, and yet mistake the thing down to Satan, then I say, sir, I do not believe.
But surely you believe there are witches
If
in
you think that I am one, then I say there are none.
Do not lie against the gospel. The gospel.
She believed in the gospel, sir. Every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, sir, not myself.
This be a Christian house, sir. A Christian house.
God give you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized, and go you without fail every Sunday in the Sabbath prayer. And keep a quiet and solemn way among you. I think...
John!
Child,
They take my wife and Rebecca nurse.
Rebecca's in the jail?
John Jeever come and take her in his wagon. We've only now come from the jail and they won't even let us in to see them.
They've surely got wild now, Mr. Hell.
Reverend Hill, can you not speak to the deputy governor? I'm sure you mistake these people and...
Pray, calm yourself, Mr. Nurse.
My wife is the very freaking martyr of this church, Mr. Hill. And Martha Corey. There can be no woman closer to God than Martha.
Exactly how are your wife charged?
For murder she's charged. For the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's baby. Well, what am I to do, Mr. Hale?
How may such a woman murder children?
Mr. Proctor, remember that until the hour before the devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a witch, Mr. Hale. I only said she was reading books.
Exactly what complaint were made on your wife, Mr. Corey?
That's somebody Mongo Walcott child you received. She fired pig for my wife 4 or 5 years ago, and the big bag she got to me comes dancing in for his money back. My mother, she says to him, Walcott, give us the witch that she can pay properly. You'll not let the old lady she can. Now he goes to court saying that from that day to this,
Good evening. Good evening, young Parker. Why, Mr. Shepherd, good evening. Good evening, all. Good evening, Mr. Hill. I hope you do not come on the business of the court. I do, Parker. I'm a clerk of the court now.
It's a pity, Ezekiel. An honest peddler might have time to have him burn in hell. You'll burn for this, do you not?
You know I must do my soldier about the Holy Hill. Surely know that. Not his life you not be sending me to hell for it. I like not to sound you. I tell you, I like not to sound you. Now believe me, how heavy be the law. All this tonnage I did bring on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife. What say you? A warrant for my wife? You said she were not charged. I know nothing of it. When was she charged? I'm given 16 warrants tonight, sir. She is the one. Who charged her? Why, Abigail Williams, sir. Abigail Williams? On what proof? Mr. Proctor, I have a little time. The court says me to search your house. But I'd like not to search your house. So if you please give me any puppets you'd like me to search. Puppets?
I never kept no pockets. Not since I was a girl.
I spy a puppet, Kitty Proctor.
Oh, why this is married?
Please give me.
Has the court discovered a touching puppets now?
Do you keep any others in the house?
No, sir. Nor that one either until tonight. What signifies a puppet?
Why, they say a puppet may signify. Now, woman, you please come with me.
She will not. You will fetch Mary Warren here.
No, I'm forbidden to leave her from my sight.
You will leave her out of sight and out of mind. Fetch Mary.
What signify a puppet, Mr. Cheever? Why, they say puppet may signify this.
This, what's there? It is a needle. Willard, it is a needle. And what signifies a needle?
Let's go hard on her, Proctor. I had my doubts, Proctor, but here's calamity. You see it, sir. It is a needle. But what meaning has it? The girl, Williams' girl, Abigail Williams. She sits down to dinner at Mr. Parrish's house tonight. Without word nor warning, she falls to the floor, like a struck bee. She screams a scream of woe we can hear. And he goes to help her, and stuck 2 inches in the flesh of her belly. She drew out a needle. And when demanded how she came to be so stabbed, she testified when she wiped familiar spirits to put she in.
Why, she stepped the needle in herself. Surely you're not taking this for proof, Mr. Head.
It is hard proof. I find here a pocket Kitty Proctor sees. I found it, sir, and in the belly of that pocket, a needle stuck. I tell you true, Proctor, I never warranted to see such proof of hell, and I bid you, it struck me not. For I'm gonna
Here now, Mary Warren, how did this poppet come into my house?
What puppet's that?
This poppet. This poppet.
Why, I think it's mine.
It is yours, is it not?
It is, sir.
There, sir. Do you have it?
Mary Warren, a needle was found inside this pocket.
I didn't know harm by it.
You stuck that needle in yourself.
I believe I did, sir.
There, sir. What say you now?
Child, are you certain this be your natural memory? Could it be, perhaps, that someone conjures you even now in service?
Conjure me? Why, no, sir. I'm entirely myself, I think. Guess who has Susanna Walcott? She saw me thrown in court. Ask Abby. Abby sat beside me when I came. What's the a needle?
Mary, you charge a cold, cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder?
Abigail was found stabbed tonight. A needle was stuck into her belly.
And she charges me?
Aye.
Why, the girl is murder. She must be ripped out of this world.
You've heard it. Ripped out of this world. Willard, you heard it. Out with you. How dare you touch the warrant? Out with you. You've ripped the deputy governor's warrant. Damn you, deputy governor. Out of my house. Now, Proctor. Get you gone with it. You are a broken minister. But Proctor, if she is innocent...
If she is innocent, do you never wonder if Abigail be innocent or Paris? Is the accuser always innocent now? Were they born yesterday and Serena got his fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem now. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were. Except the little crazy children are jingling the keys of the kingdom, and common vengeance writes the law. That warrant is vengeance. I will not give my wife to vengeance.
I'll go, John.
You will not go!
John, I've been outside. I'm sorry, John. The law binds me. I cannot budge.
You will see her taken.
Talk to the courts.
Pontius Pilate, God will not let you wash your hands of this.
John,
bring the children away. Speak nothing of witchcraft. It will frighten them.
I will bring you home, Elizabeth.
Oh, John, bring them soon.
Fear nothing. I will fall like an ocean upon thy court.
I will fear nothing. Tell the children that I have time to become sick.
Willard, don't chain her. Kevin, Willard, I'll not have it. Off with them.
And yet, silent, Minister. It is fun. You know it is fun. What is it, man?
I'll pay you, Willard. I will surely pay you.
In God's name, John, I cannot help myself. I must chain them all, and let you keep inside this house till I'm gone. Man, are you blind?
Mr. Proctor.
Out of my sight.
Charity, Proctor, charity. What I've heard in her favor, I'll not fear to testify in court. God help me, I cannot judge her innocent nor guilty. I know not. Only this consider. The world goes mad. What profit is the way cause of the vengeance of a little girl?
You're a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now.
Mr. Proctor, I cannot think that God be provoked so grandly by such a petty cause. The jails are packed, and our greatest judges sit in Salem now in a hangman's promise. Man, we must look to cause proportionate. Were there some murder done that was never brought to light, an abomination, some secret blasphemy that stinks to heaven? Think on cause, man, for there's your way. Believe it, there is your only way when such confusion strikes upon the world. I shall leave you. Counsel amongst yourselves and think on your village, and what may have drawn from heaven such thundering wrath upon you all. I shall pray God open up our eyes.
I never heard no murder done in Salem.
Leave me, Francis. Leave me.
John, tell me, are we lost?
Go home now, Dad. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
Let you think on it then. We'll come early, eh?
Aye. Go home now, Travis.
Good night, then.
Mr. Proctor, very likely the letter from home would produce proper evidence.
You will come with me into the court tomorrow and tell them that we're all pretenders.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell it in the court.
She'll kill me for saying that. Abigail charged lechery on you, Mr. Proctor.
She's told you.
I have known it. She'll ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good then. We'll slide together into our pit. You will tell the court what you know.
I do not. They'll try me.
You will tell it in the court. My wife will not hate for me. I will bring your guts into your mouth, but that goodness will not die for me.
I cannot do it. I cannot.
Make your peace with it.
I won't.
Now hell and heaven grapple on our backs, and all our old pretenses ripped away. Peace. It is a providence, and no great change. We are what we always were now, except naked. I naked. And the wind, God's icy wind, will blow. Abigail, I must speak with you.
How do you come?
Friendly.
I don't like to look at her. Stay here. Stand closer. I knew it must be you when I heard the pebbles on my window. Before I opened up my eyes, I knew. I thought you would come a good time sooner.
I thought to you many times, Abigail.
Why didn't you? I'm so alone in the world now.
Are you? I hear people ride 100 miles to see your face these days.
I
mock me?
No. It's just that I hear that you go to the tavern every night and play shuffleboard with the deputy governor, and they give you cider.
I have once or twice played the shuffleboard, but I haven't enjoyed it.
This is a surprise. I thought to find you here. I'm told that you boys will step for step with you wherever you want to do.
They do. But I only have loose lips from the boy.
And you like that not?
I cannot bear loose lips no more, John. My spirit's changed entirely. I ought to be given godly looks when I suffer for them as I do.
Suffer? How do you suffer, Abby?
Why, look at my legs. I'm holes all over from their damn needles and pins. The jab your wife gave me is not healed yet, you know.
It isn't.
I think sometimes she comes again while I sleep and pricks it open.
Oh?
And George Jacob, he comes again and again and raps me with a stick, the same spot every night all this week. Look at the lump I have.
Abby, George Jacobs is in the jail all this month.
Thank God he is, and bless the day he hangs and lets me sleep in peace again. Oh, John, the world is so full of hypocrites. They pray in jail. I'm told they all pray in jail.
They may not pray.
And torture me in my bed? While sacred words are coming from their mouths? Oh, it will need God himself to cleanse his crown properly.
Abby, you mean to cry out still others?
If I live, if I am not murdered, I surely will until the last hypocrite is dead.
Then there is no one good.
There is one. You are good.
Am I? How am I good?
Why, you taught me goodness. Therefore you are good. If we're in fire you walk me through, and all my ignorance is burned away. If we're in fire, John, we lay in fire. From that night, no woman dare call me wicked anymore, and I knew my answer. I used to weep for my sins when the wind lifted up my skirt, and blush for shame because some old Rebecca called me loose. And then you burned my ignorance away. As there was on the cemetery, I saw them all, walking like saints to church, running to see the sick, and hypocrites in their hearts. And God gave me the strength to call them liars. And God made men listen to me, and by God I will scrub the world clean for the love of him. Oh, John, I will make you such a wife when the world is wide again. You will be amazed to see me every day, alive as heaven in your house. Why are you cold?
Abby, my wife go to trial in the morning.
Your wife?
Surely you knew of it.
I do remember it now. Is she well?
As well as she may be. 36 days in that place.
You said you came from me.
My wife will not be condemned, Abby.
You brought me from my bed to speak of her?
I brought you here to tell you what I will do in the court tomorrow. I ought not to take you by surprise, but give you good time to think on what to do to save yourself.
Save myself?
If you do not free my wife tomorrow, Abby, I am set and bound to ruin you.
How? Through me?
I have brought you proof in documents that you knew that Papa were none of my wives, and that you yourself bade Mary Warren stick that needle in.
I made Mary Warren?
You know what you do. You're not so mad.
Oh, hypocrite! Have you won him too? John, why do you let them send you?
I'm warned you,
They
Abby.
send you. They steal your honesty.
I have found my honesty.
No, this is your wife's meeting. Your sniveling, envious wife. This is Rebecca's voice. Martha Corey's voice. You were no hypocrite.
I will prove you for the fraud you are.
And if they ask why Abigail would ever do such a murderous deed, what will you tell them?
I will tell them why.
What will you tell? You will confess to fornication?
If
In
you
the
will,
court?
if you will have it so, so I will tell. I say I will. If you can still hear this. Can you hear? You will tell the court tomorrow that you are blind to spirits and that you never saw spirits. You will tell the truth tomorrow, Abby, or else I will make you famous for the whore you are.
Never in this world, John. I know you. You were at this moment seen in secret alimony that your wife will hang.
You mad. You murderous bitch.
Oh, how hard it is with pretense folks. But it's false. It's false. You have done your duty by her. I hope it is your last apology. I pray you will come again with sweeter news for me. I know you will, now that your duty is done. Good night, John. Fear not. felt I would take you.
There is abundant evidence in our hands to show that you have given your life to the reading of fortunes. Do you deny it?
I am innocent to a witch. I know not what a witch is.
Then how do you know that you're not a witch?
If I were, I would know it.
Why do you hurt these children?
I do not hurt them. I scorn it.
I have evidence for the court.
You will keep your seat.
Thomas Putnam is reaching out for the land.
Marshal, remove this man.
We're hearing live! Live!
Arrest His Excellency.
Calm yourself, sir.
You, Mr. Hill, go in there and demand my seat.
A moment, sir, a moment.
Don't be hanging my wife. How do you dare come over against me, boys? Are you gone daft, Corey? You're not a Boston judge yet, Halfdone. You'll not dare call me daft. Who is this man? Giles Corey, sir. And a more contentious answer the question than I am old enough to answer. His name is Corey, sir. Giles Corey. And it's 600 acres in timber edition. My wife is living now. And how do you imagine to help her cause with such contemptuous rights? Now be gone. Your old age alone keeps you out of jail for this. They're telling lies about my wife, sir. Then you take it upon yourself to decide what this court shall hear and what it shall set aside? Your Excellency, we mean no disrespect. Disrespect indeed. This is a disruption. This is the highest court of the supreme government of this province. Do you know it? I always said you read books. Then they come and take it on my house court. What books? What books? It is my third wife, you see. And I never had a wife that you so take with books, you understand, sir? And I thought to find the cause of it. But there were no witch I blamed her for. I have broke charity with the woman. I have broke charity with her.
Excellency claims hard evidence of why the defense. I think in all
None of the submitted evidence is proper affidavit. You're certainly aware of our procedures here, Mr. Hale, are you not? Clear this room.
No doubt, Giles.
We're desperate, sir. We come here 3 days now and cannot be heard. Who is this man? Francis Nurse, Your Excellency.
His wife's Rebecca, whom you condemned this morning.
Indeed. I've always good report of your character. I am amazed to find you in such uproar, Mr. Nurse.
I think they must both be arrested in contempt, sir.
Let you write out your plea, and in due time I will give...
Excellency, we have proof for the court. God forbid you to shut them to it. The girls, sir. The girls are frauds.
What's what?
We have proof of it, sir. They are deceiving you. This is contempt, sir. Contempt.
Peace, Judge Hopkins. Do you know who I am, Mr. Nurse?
I certainly do, sir. And I think you are a wise judge to be what you are.
And do you know that nearly 400 from Marblehead to Lynn are in jail upon my signature? And 72 are condemned to hang by that same signature.
Excellency, I never thought to say it to such a weighty judge, but you are deceived.
Mary Warren, what are you about here? She would speak with the deputy governor.
Did you not tell me Mary Warren was sick in bed?
She were, Your Honor. When I go to fetch her to court last week, she said she was sick.
She's been struggling with the cold all week. She comes out and tells the truth to you. Who is this?
John Proctor, sir. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife.
Beware this man, Your Excellency. This man is mischief.
Sir, I think you must hear the girl, sir.
Peace. What would you tell us, Mary Warren?
That she never saw no spirits, Your Honor.
Never saw no spirits. Never.
She has signed a deposition.
No, I accept no deposition. Tell me, Mr. Proctor, have you given up this story in the village?
I have not. He's come to overthrow this
I
court.
pray you, Mr. Parrish. Do you know, Mr. Proctor, that the entire contention of this state in these trials is that the voice of heaven is speaking to these children?
I do, sir.
And you, Mary Warren, how came you to cry out people for sending their spirit against you?
That was
I cannot hear you.
It were pretense, she said.
Ah, and the other girl, Susanna Walcott, and the others, they're also pretending?
I, sir.
Indeed. Now, Mr. Proctor, before I decide whether I should hear you or not, I feel it's my duty to tell you this. We burn a hot fire here, It must sound all-consuming. Are you positive in your conscience that this evidence you bring is the truth?
It is, sir, and you will surely know it.
I take it you came here to declare this revelation in an open court in front of the public.
I thought I would, with your permission.
Now then, what is your purpose in doing so?
I thought it would free my wife, sir.
There lurks nowhere in your heart, nor hidden in your spirit, in his desire to undermine this court.
Why, no, sir.
I tell you straight, mister, I have seen marvels in this court. I have seen people choked by spirits before my eyes. I have seen them stuck by pins and slashed by daggers. I have, until this moment, not the slightest reason to suspect that these children may be deceiving me. Do you understand my meaning?
Excellency, does it not strike upon you strange that these women live so long with such righteous reputations, and they...
Do you read the gospel, Mr. Proctor?
I read the gospel.
I think not, or you should surely understand that Cain were an upright man, yet he did kill Abel.
It tells us that. But who tells us that Rebecca nursed murders children? It is the children and the children alone. And this one will swear she lies to you.
Judge Hopper. Aye, she's the one. Mr. Proctor, this morning I received a claim from your wife in which she states that she is now pregnant.
My wife is pregnant?
There be no sign of it yet. We have examined her body.
If she says she is pregnant, then she is pregnant. My wife cannot lie, sir.
She will not?
Never, sir. Never.
Mr. Proctor, if I were to tell you that I will allow your wife to be kept another month, and she begins to show her natural signs, you will have her living yet another year until she is delivered. What say you to that? Come, man, you say your only purpose is to save your wife. Good then, she is saved at least a year, and a year is long. What say you, sir? It is done. Now, will you drop this charge?
I think I cannot.
Then your purpose is somewhat larger.
They've come to overthrow the court, Your Excellency.
Your Honor, these are my friends. Their wives are also accused.
I judge you not, sir. Sit you down. I'm ready to hear your evidence.
I come not to hurt the court, sir. I only wish to...
In a moment. Marshal, go into the court and fix Judge Stoughton and Judge Sewell declare recess for 1 hour. And let them go to the tavern if they will. All witnesses and prisoners are to be kept in the building.
Forgive me, sir. I've done what I know my life. It is a good man, sir.
I'm sure of it, Marshal. Now then, what deposition do you have for us, Mr. Proctor? And I beg you to be clear, open as the sky, and honest.
I'm no lawyer, so
The pure at heart need no lawyers, sir. Proceed as you will.
If you'll first look at this, sir, it's a sort of testament. The people standing here sign to their good opinions of Rebecca Nurse and my wife, and Martha Corey.
They're good opinions.
These are all covenant people, landholding farmers, church members. If you'll notice, sir, they have known them in many years and not seen no sign that they had dealings with the devil.
How many names are here?
91, Your Excellency. These people should be summoned for questioning. Excellency, I give my word no harm would come to these people for signing this. This is a clear attack upon the court.
Is every defense an attack upon the court? Can no one simply say that they must be
All innocent and Christian people are happy for the court to assail us. And these people are gloomy for it. And I think you would like to know from each and every one of them what discontents you with them.
This is not necessarily an attack. I think.
These are all covenant Christians, sir.
Then I am sure they have nothing to fear. Mr. Cheever, have warrants drawn up for all of you. Arrest for examination. Now then, what else do you have for us, Mr. Proctor? You may sit, Mr. Nurse.
And I have brought trouble to these people. I have
No, old man, you have not hurt these people if they are of good conscience. But you must understand that a person is either with this court or he must be cast against it. There be no road between. This is a sharp time now, a precise time. We live no longer the dusty afternoon when evil mixes itself with good and befuddles the world. Now, by God's grace, the shining sun is up, and them that fear not the light will surely praise it. I hope you're one of those. She is not hardy, I see.
No, she's not. You cannot weep, Mary. Remember what the angel said to the boys of Zion. Do that which is good, and no harm shall come to you.
Come, man, we wait you. I no longer in my last half order.
It is very well phrased. My compliments. Mr. Paris, going to the court, Mr. Putnam here. Bring him here. You have no legal training, Mr. Corey?
Oh, but I have the best, sir. And studied this time in court my life. And always played this too.
Oh, then you're much put upon.
I never put upon. I know my rights, sir, and I will have them. You know your father once shot a case of mine. I did 35 years ago, I think.
Indeed?
He never spoke to you of it.
No, I cannot recall it.
That's strange. He gives me 9 pounds damages. You were a fair judge, your father. You see, that time I had this white man, and this girl came to bother the man. Putnam! Aye, there he is.
Mr. Putnam, I have here an accusation against you for Mr. Corey. It states that you coldly prompted your wife to cry Richard and George Davis, who is now in jail.
It is a lie.
Mr. Putnam states your charge is a lie, sir. What say you to that?
A spark on Thomas Putnam. That is what I say to that.
What proof do you submit for your charge, sir?
The proof is there. Jacob Haynes for law, and he forfeit up his property. That's law. And there is none but Putnam with the court device for greater peace. This man is killing his neighbors for the land.
What proof, sir? I need proof.
The proof is there. I have it from an honest man who heard Putnam say it. The day is dark, Jacob, he said you'd given him a fair gift of land. The name of this man? What name?
The man who gives this information.
Why, I cannot give you his name.
And why not?
You know well why not, Hathorne. You'll rot in jail if I give his name.
This is contempt of the court, Mr. Jackson. You will surely tell us his name.
Can I give you no name, sir? I mention my wife's name, and I'll burn in hell long enough for that. Stand up.
Then I have no choice but to arrest you for contempt of this court. Do you understand that?
This is the hearing. You cannot cut me for contempt of the hearing.
Oh, it is a proper lawyer. Do you wish me to declare this court in full session, or you give me a good reply?
I cannot give you no name, sir. I cannot.
You are a foolish old man. Mr. Cheever, begin the record. The court is now in session. I ask you, Mr. Corey.
Your honors, he has the story in confidence, and he wished not to disclose the name.
Confidence? The devil lives in such confidence. Without confidence, there can be no conspiracy. It must be broken.
Old man, your informant tells the truth. Let him come here like a decent man. But if he hides an anonymity, I must know why. Now, sir, the church and central government demand the name of him who accused Mr. Thomas Putnam of common murder.
Excellency,
Mr. Head.
we may blink at no more, sir. There's a prodigious fear of this court.
Then there's a prodigious guilt in this country. Are you afraid to be questioned here?
I may only fear the Lord, sir, but there's a fear in this country nevertheless.
Reproach me not with the fear in this country. There is fear in this country because there's a moving plot to topple Christ in the country.
But it does not follow that everyone accused is part of it.
No uncorrupt man may fear this court. None. Mr. Corey, you are under arrest for contempt of this court. Now sit you down and take counsel with yourself, or you will be arrested and put in jail until you decide to answer all questions.
No, child. Peace, child. Peace. We'll approve ourselves. Now we will.
Ain't nothing more, John. He's only playing you. He needs to hang us all.
This is the court of law, mister. I shall have no effrontery here.
Forgive him for his old age, Your Honor. Peace, child. We will prove it all now. You cannot weep, Mary Corey. Remember what the angel said to the boy. Hold to it now. There is your right. This is Mary Warren's deposition. I would have you remember, sir, that until 2 weeks ago, she was no different than the other girls. You heard her scream. She howled. She swore familiar spirits choked her. She even testified that Satan, in the form of women now in jail, tried to win her soul. And when she refused,
We all know this.
Aye, sir. And now she swears that she never saw Satan, nor any spirit, vague or clear, that may have came to hurt her. She also declares that her friends are lying now.
Excellency, a moment. I think this goes to the heart of the matter, sir.
It surely does.
I cannot say he's an honest man. I know him little. But in all justice, a claim so weighty cannot be argued by that of the coroner. In the name of God, sir, stop now and send him home. Let him come again with the boy.
Now look you, Mr. Hale.
I am a minister of the Lord, and I have signed 72 death warrants, and I may take no life without proof so immaculate that no slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it.
Mr. Hale, you surely do not doubt my justice.
I have this morning signed away the soul of Rebecca Nurseron, and I'll not conceal it. My hand shakes yet as with the wound. This argument, I pray you, let lawyers present to you.
Mr. Hale, believe me, for a man of such terrible learning, you are most bewildered. I hope you will forgive me. I have been 32 years bar, sir, and I should be confounded were I called upon to defend these people. Let you consider, and I bid you all to do the same. In an ordinary crime, how does one defend the accused? One calls upon witnesses to defend his innocence. But witchcraft is ipso facto, on its face and by its nature, an invisible crime. So who may possibly be witness to it? The witch and the victim, none other. Now, we cannot hope that the witch will accuse herself. Granted. Therefore, we must rely upon her victims, and they do testify. The children certainly do testify. As for the witches, none may deny that we are most eager for their confessions. I think I have made my point, have I not?
But the child swears they are not truthful, and if they are not,
That is precisely what I'm about to consider. What more may you ask of me unless you doubt my probity,
I surely do not. Let you consider that.
and let you put your heart to rest. For deposition, Mr. Proctor.
I should like to question.
I bid you be silent, Mr. Paris. Sit you down, Mr. Proctor. You, sit here. Mr. Cheever, were you going to the court and bring the children out? Now then, Mary Warren, how came you to this turn out? Has Mr. Proctor threatened you for this deposition?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you? Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Then you tell me that you sat in my court, callously lying, and knew that people would hang by this evidence? Answer me!
I did, sir.
How were you instructed in your life? Do you not know that God damns all liars?
No, sir. I'm with God now.
You are with God then.
Aye, sir.
I tell you this, you're either lying now or you were lying then, and in either case you've committed perjury and you should go to jail for it. You cannot lightly say you've lied, Mary. Do you know that?
I cannot lie no more. I am with God. I am with God.
Ruth Putnam was not in the court, sir.
These will be sufficient. Sit you down, children. Your friend, Mary Warren, has given us a deposition in which she states that she never saw no familiar spirits, apparitions, nor any manifest of the devil. She states as well that none of you have seen these things either. Now, children, this is a court of law. The law based upon the Bible, and the Bible written by Almighty God, forbids the practice of witchcraft. It describes death as the penalty thereof. But likewise, children, the law and Bible damn all liars and bearers of false witness. Now then, it does not escape me that this deposition may be devised of blindness. It may well be that Mary Warren has been conquered by Satan and is sent here to distract her sacred purpose. If so, her neck shall break for it. But if she speak true, I bid you now, drop your guile and confess your pretense. For quick confession will go easier on you. Abigail Williams, bride. Is there any truth in this?
No, sir.
Children, a very auger bit shall be turned into your soul until your honesty is true. Will either of you change your positions now, or do you force me to hard questioning?
I have not to change, sir. She lied.
You would still go with this?
Aye, sir.
A poppet were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed by a needle. Mary Warren claims that you sat beside her in court when she made it, and that you saw her make it, and that you saw her stick a needle into her for safekeeping. What do you say to that?
It is a lie, sir.
While you worked in Mr. Proctor's house, did you ever see poppets in that house?
Goody Proctor always kept calm.
Your Honor, my wife never kept no puppets. Mary Warren confesses it.
Your Excellency. Mr. Cheever.
I spoke with Goody Proctor in that house. She said she never kept no puppets, but she said she did see puppets when she was a girl.
My wife has not been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor. But a puppet will keep 15 years.
Will it not?
A puppet will keep if it has been kept. But Mary Warren confesses that it was her puppet, and she never saw no puppet in her house, nor anyone else.
Maybe your puppet's hid where no one can see you.
There might also have been 2 candlesticks in my house, but no one ever saw them.
We are prepared, Your Honor, precisely to discover what no one has ever seen.
Mr. Proctor, you are charging Abigail Williams with a marvelous cool plot to murder your wife. Do you know that?
I do, sir. I believe she means to murder.
This child would murder your wife.
It is not a child. Now hear me. And the light of this congregation she were twice put out of this meeting house for laughter during prayer.
Excellent.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
We're sometimes silly, Your Excellency, but she has stolen now.
Aye, now she has stolen and gone to hang people.
Quiet, man.
Surely you have no bearing on the question. He charges contemplation of murder.
Aye. But it strikes hard on me that she would laugh at prayer. Proceed, Mr. Proctor.
Mary Warren, now tell the deputy governor how you danced in the woods.
What is this dancing?
Abigail leads the girls to the woods, and they have danced there, naked.
Your Honor,
Mr. Paris discovered them there in the dead of night. There's the child she is.
Mr. Paris, you discovered them dancing in the woods? Abigail?
Excellency, when I first arrived from Beverly, Mr. Paris told me.
You deny it, Mr. Paris?
I do not deny it, sir, but I never saw any of them naked.
But she have danced.
Aye, sir. Excellent. Will you permit me?
Pray proceed.
You say you never saw the spirits, Mary, or were never afflicted by any manifest of the devil or the devil's agent?
No, sir.
Yet, when the people who are accused of witchery confronted you in court, you would think, saying that their spirits came out and choked you.
That was true.
I cannot hear you.
Treatment, sir.
But you did turn cold, did you not? I myself came to it many times, and your skin were icy. Mr. Dan.
I saw that many times.
She were pretending. They're all marvelous pretenders.
Then can she pretend faint now?
Now,
Why not? Now there are no attacking spirits. For none in this room are accused of witchcraft. Let her turn herself cold and faint, like she has many times in the court. Faint!
Faint?
Aye, faint. Prove to it that you can faint on your own will, as you claim.
I cannot faint now, sir.
Why? What is lacking now?
I cannot tell, sir.
Might it be that we have no afflicting spirit loose, but in the courtroom there were some?
I never saw no spirits.
And see no spirits now. And faint!
I cannot do it.
Your Honor, this is a trick to blind the court.
It is not a trick. I used to see them, but I didn't. I only thought I did.
You thought you saw them?
Yes, Your Honor. But I don't know.
How do you think you saw them? Unless you saw them.
I cannot tell how, but I heard the other girl screaming. And you, Your Honor, you seemed to believe it. And it were only sport in the beginning, but then the whole world cried, Spirit! Spirit! And I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw spirits, but I did not.
Surely Your Excellency is not taken by this simple lie.
Abigail Williams, I bid you now, search your heart and tell me this. Beware of it, child. To God, every soul is precious, and them that take life without cause, his vengeance is terrible on. Is it possible that these spirits you've seen are illusion only? Some deception.
This is a base question, sir.
Child, I would have
I
you.
have been hurt, Mr. Danforth. I've seen blood running out. I've been near to murder every day. I've done my duty pointing out the devil to his people. This time reward, to be mistrusted, denied.
Child, I do not mistrust you.
Beware of it, Mr. Danforth. Think you to be so mighty that the power of hell may not turn your wits? Beware of it. There is.
Child, what is it?
I know not. A wind, a cold wind is
They're pretending.
Oh,
She is cold, Your Honor. Touch her.
Mary, do you send a shadow on me? Shadow, go away. Lord, save me. I freeze. I freeze.
Mr. Danforth, they're pretending.
Mary Warren, do you witch her? I say you do send your spirit out.
Oh, Heavenly Father, take away the shadow.
Lord, how do you dare call heaven?
Man, what do you charge?
It is a whore.
Now, here.
You charge Abigail Williams with being a whore?
Mark her. Not her sentence screams to stab me with.
You will prove this. This will not pass.
I have known her, sir. I have known her.
You are a lecher?
John, you cannot know, Francis. It is true. Surely you will believe me. A man will not give away his good name. Surely you know that.
In what time? In what time and what place?
The proper place, where my beasts were bedded. It is 8 months now. She used to serve me at my house. A man may think God sleeps, but God sees everything. I know that now. I beg you, sir, see her what she is. My wife, sir, my dear good wife, took this girl soon after and put her out on the high road. And being what she is, sir, a love of vanity, sir. Forgive me, sir, but I thought of her softly. Oh, God help me, I lusted, and there's a promise in such sweat. But it is a whore's vengeance, and you must see it. I put myself entirely in your hands. I know you must see it now.
Do you deny every scrap and tittle of this?
If I must answer that, sir, I will leave and I will not come back again.
She does not deny it, Mr. Danforth. She doesn't deny it.
You will stay where you are. Sit you down. Mr. Parrish, go into the court and bring Giddy Proctor out. Mr. Parrish, you will tell her nothing of what's been spoken here, and let you not before you enter. Now, we should get to the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say? She's an honest woman?
In her life, sir, she has never lied. There are them that cannot sing, and them that cannot weep. My wife cannot lie.
And when she put this girl out, she put her out for a harlot?
Aye,
And knew her for a harlot?
she knew her for a harlot.
Good then. Sit you down. And if you tell me you're for harlotry, may God spread his mercy on you. Hold! Turn your back. Turn your back. You do likewise. Now, let neither of you face Giddy Proctor. No one in this room is to say one word, nor raise a gesture A or nay. Enter. Mr. Cheever, you will report this testimony in all exactness. Are you ready?
Ready, sir.
Stand there, woman. You will look at me only and not at your husband. In my eyes only.
Good sir.
You're given to understand that at one time you dismissed your servant, Abigail Williams.
That is true, sir.
For what cause did you dismiss her? Woman, look at me. Was she slovenly? Lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
She were...
Woman, look at me. You will tell me what you put her out for.
She dissatisfied me.
In what way did she dissatisfy you?
She were...
Woman, look at me. Was she slovenly? Lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
Your Honor, in that time I was sick, and my husband is a good and righteous man, sir. He is never drunk, as some are, nor wasting his time away at the shuffleboard, but always at his work. But you see, sir, I were a long time sick after my last baby, and I came to think that my husband was somewhat turning from me. And this girl
Look at me.
I serve, Abigail Williams.
What about Abigail Williams?
I came to think he fancied her. And so one night, I lost my wits, I think, and put her out on the high road.
Your husband. Did he in fact turn from you?
My husband is a goodly man, sir.
Then he did not turn from you.
He...
Woman, look at me. To your own knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer my question. Is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Remove her.
Elizabeth, tell the truth, Elizabeth.
She has spoken. Remove her.
Elizabeth, I have confessed it.
Oh,
She only thought to save my name.
Excellency, it is a natural light at hell. Please, I pray you stop before another is condemned. I may shut my conscience to it no more. A private vengeance is working its way through this testimony. From the beginning, this man has struck me true. I believe him now. By my oath to heaven, I believe him. And I beg you, bring back his wife before we...
She spoke nothing of lechery, and this man lied.
I believe him. I can turn my face from it no more. This girl has always struck me false. She
you
never...
will not be gone! Be gone, I say!
What is it, child? Child! What is it?
It's on the beam, behind the rafter.
Children, what do you see?
She's opening her beam. She's going to bite us. Her claws. She's stretching her claws.
Why? Why do you come, yellow bird?
Lies! Lies!
My face? My face!
Mr. Hale,
Be quiet. Be quiet.
But envy is a deadly sin, Mary. You cannot want to tear my face. God made my face. This is a black art to change your shape. No, I cannot. I cannot shut my mouth. It's God's work I do.
I'm here.
Why do they see this vision?
Mr. Danforth, you cannot believe them.
She sees nothing.
She sees nothing.
Abby, you mustn't. Abby, you mustn't. Here, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Mary Warren, draw back your spirit out of them.
Mr. Danforth.
Mr. Danforth!
You have compacted with the devil, have you not?
Never, 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 never.
Why can they only repeat you?
I'll give me a whip. I'll stop it.
They're sporting. They're sporting. Abby, stop it. Abby, stop it. Stop it.
Stop it!
A little while ago, you were afflicted. Now it seems you afflict others. Where have you found this power?
I have no power.
I have no power.
You have compacted with the devil, have you not?
Mary, goddamn all liars.
You have seen the devil. You have compacted with Lucifer, have you not?
Mary, goddamn all liars.
I cannot hear you. What do you say? You will confess yourself or you will hang. Do you know who I am? You will hang if you're not open with me.
Mary, remember what the angel Raphael said.
The wings are spreading. Mary, please don't. Don't. She's going to come down. Mary, look out. She's coming down.
Mary, now tell the governor.
Don't touch me.
Mary,
You are the devil's man.
praise God. Mary,
I'll not play with you. I love God. I love God.
He bid you do the devil's work?
He comes to me by night, every day, to sign.
To sign what?
the book, the devil's book, he come with the book.
You want my name? I'll murder you with my right name. You must go and overthrow the court, he said.
Mary,
He comes to me. He wakes me at night. His eyes are like coals, and his fingers curl my neck. And I sigh. I sigh.
Excellency, the child's gone wild.
Mr. Hale,
No. I love God. I go your way no more. I love God. I bless God. Abby, I'll never hurt you more.
What are you? You're combined with the devil, are you not? You will confess yourself. I have seen your powers.
Mr. Danforth, this is not witchcraft. These girls are frauds. You condemn an honest man.
I want nothing more from you, Mr. Hale. Will you confess yourself be foul with hell, or do you keep your black allegiance yet? What say you?
I say God is dead. Hear it, hear it. A fire is burning. I hear the boot of Lucifer. I see his filthy face, and it is my face, and yours, Danforth. For them that quell you bring men out of ignorance, as I have quelled,
And as you quail now, for you know in all your black hearts that this be fraud. God damns our kind especially. And we will burn. We will burn together.
Marshal, take him and Corey with him to the jail.
I denounce these proceedings. I quit this court.
You're bringing heaven down and raising up a whore.
Mr. Hale! Mr. Hale!
Excellency, you cannot, Your Honor, you've done right.
Sir, good.
Juba!
Oh, Majesty! Coming! Coming! Do wait there! His Majesty's coming!
Go to the north cell. This place is watching out.
That don't look to me like His Majesty. Look to me like the monk.
Get along with me now to this place.
Oh, is that you, Marshal? I thought for sure it'd be the devil coming for us. Say, can I have a sip of that cider from the going away?
Where are you off to, Sarah?
We're going to Bali. Soon the devil gets here with his wings and feathers. We'd be a pair of bluebirds singing southerly, the two of us.
Best you give me that you never fly off the ground. Come along with you now. Out.
I'll speak to him for you if you desire to come along that way.
I not deny it's Cuba. It is the proper morning to fly into hell.
Oh, it ain't no hell in Barbados. The devil can be a tremendous man in Barbados. Can be singing and dancing in Barbados. You rise him up around here. It'd be too cold for that old boy around here. He breathes his soul in Massachusetts. But in Barbados, he's just as sweet. Yes, sir. That's it, sir. Oh, Majesty, coming, coming. No, he's coming to me. I'm going home.
Deputy Governor has arrived. Get along with you now. Clear this place.
Devil, coming for me.
That ain't Satan. It's just a poor old cow with a head full of milk. Come along with me now.
Take me home, devil. Take me home.
You too. Out with you.
You tell him I'm going, sir. You tell him, sir, I'm going to. Take me home, devil. Devil, take me home.
What Your Majesty?
Where's Mr. Paris?
I'll fetch him for you.
Marshal, when did Reverend Hale arrive?
We're toward midnight, I think, sir.
What is he about here?
He goes among them with Hank, sir. He prays for them. He sits with Goody Nurse now. And Mr. Paris.
Indeed, Marshal. That man has no authority to enter here. Why have you let him in?
Why, sir, Mr. Paris commands me, sir. I cannot deny it.
Are you drunk, Marshal?
No. No, it would be a bitter night here and I have no fire.
That's Mr. Paris.
Thank you, sir.
There's a stench in this place.
I've only just now cleaned the people out of the
You have hard drink, Marshal.
Aye, sir. But question Helen. I should not be surprised to be a future in Andover lately.
We'll come to that. Speak nothing of Andover. Paris prison. That's odd.
Sometimes I think Paris has a mad look these days.
Mad?
I met him yesterday as he was coming out of his house. I beat him this morning. He went and went his way. I don't think he's surprised. Really, she seems so insane.
Perhaps he has some sorrow.
I think it'd be the cow, sir.
The cow?
Yes. There'd be so many cows wandering the high road. If you gave disagreements over the hill of they're very content about the cows. Contention making way to their. They always learn man to lose their
Excellency, thank you for coming.
I beg your pardon waiting so early. Good morning, Judge Uncle.
Mr. Hale has no authority to enter.
You leave him alone with the prisoners?
What is his business here?
Excellency, it's a providence. Reverend Hill returns to bring Rebecca Nurse to God.
He bids her to confess?
Excellency, hear me. Rebecca has not given me a word, but she can.
Doctor advised you early in the week for that.
Why, how long has she been gone?
This will be the third night. Mercy Lewis is gone too.
Where may they be? I was sent a search party for them.
Excellency, I think they'd be aboard ship. My daughter tells me now she hears them speaking of ships earlier this week. Tonight I discovered my strong box is broken into. She have robbed you? 31 pounds is missing.
Mr. Perry, you are a brainless man.
It's just probably nothing that you blame me. I cannot think why you were run off, except for this year in Salem. This news of Andover have broken out here.
Andover is remedy. The court returns the next Friday and will resume examination.
As you say, sir, but the ruling here speaks of rebellion in Andover.
There is no rebellion in Andover.
I tell you what is said here, sir. Andover has thrown out the court, and they will take no part in witchcraft, they say. And there is a faction here feeding off that information. And I tell you what is true, sir. There will be a riot. Riot? Why, at every execution I see, not, but high satisfaction in the town. Judge Hawthorne, if it were another kind of hang till now, Rebecca nurses no Bridget that lived with Bishop 3 years before she married him. And John Proctor is not Isaac Ford and drank his family to ruin. Let Rebecca stand unto it and raise up some righteous spirit, and I fear she will wage a vengeance on you. She is condemned a witch. The court of
Peace! What do you propose then?
I would postpone this hanging for a time.
There will be no postponement.
Now, Excellency, Reverend Gale has returned. There is hope. And I think if he brings even one of these to God, a confession surely damns the rest in the public eye. And none may doubt more, and they are all linked to hell. This way, unconfessed and claiming innocence, doubts are multiplied. Many honest people will weep for them, and our good purpose is lost in their tears.
Cheever, give me the list.
Excellency, it cannot be forgotten that when I summoned the congregation for John Proctor's excommunication, there were only 30 people who come to hear it. That surely speaks of discontent, and that
There will be no postponement.
Excellency.
Now, in your opinion, which of these maidens do you have hope for? I will myself strive with them till dawn.
It is not sufficient.
I will do my utmost. Which of these do you have hope for?
Excellency, a dagger.
What do you say?
This evening, when I opened my door to step outside, a dagger clattered to the ground. We gotta hang this sword. There's danger for me. I dare not step outside at night. I fear for my life, sir. There are people out there to get me.
Ah, Mr. Hale, accept my congratulations. We're glad to see you return to your good work.
You must pardon them. They will not budge.
You mistake me, sir. I cannot pardon these when 12 are already hanged for the same crime. It is not just.
Rebecca will not confess.
The sun is almost up here. I must have more time.
Now hear me, and beguile yourselves no more. I will not receive a single plea for pardon or postponement. Them that will not confess will hang. 12 are already executed. The names of these 7 are given out, and the town expects to see them die at dawn. Postponement now speaks of floundering on my part. Reprieve and pardon must cast doubt upon the guilt of them that have died till now. I will not crack God's voice with whimpering. If retaliation is your fear, know this. I should hang 10,000 that dare rise up against the law, and an ocean of salt tears will not resolve the resolutions of the statutes. Now, draw yourself the white man and help me as you're bound by heaven to do. Have you spoken with all of them?
All but Proctor. He's in the dungeon.
What is Proctor's way now?
Since like some great bird, you not know he's looking since you take food.
His wife. His wife must be well on with the child now.
She is, sir.
Mr. Parrish, you have better knowledge of this man than I. Might her presence soften him?
He has not laid eyes on her this 3 months. I should summon her.
Is he yet adamant? Has he struck you again?
Cannot chain him to the wall.
Then I use the message to Biddy Proctor, and then bring him up.
I see. Your Honor, if you postpone and publish in the town the story of their confession, that speaks mercy on your part, not falsehood.
Has God not empowered me like Joshua to stop the 70 army, so I cannot keep these people from the perfection of their punishment?
Excellent. If you think God wills you to raise rebellion, you are mistaken.
You have heard rebellion spoken in Salem?
Orphans wander from house to house, abandoned cattle bellow on the highway. stench of rotting crops hangs everywhere, and no man knows when the harlots cry when it is light. And you wonder yet if rebellion's spoken? Better you should wonder why did I not burn your province?
Mr. Hale, have you preached in Andover this month?
Thank God they have no need of that.
You baffle me, sir. Why have you returned here?
Why, it is all simple. I come to do the devil's work. I come to counsel Christians so that they should belie themselves. There is blood on my head. Do you not see blood on my head?
Hush! Ah, Goody Proctor, I hope you're a hardy.
I'm yet 6 months before my time.
I pray you, woman, we come not for your life. Mr. Hale, will you speak with this woman?
Goody Proctor, your husband is marched to hang this morning.
I have heard it.
You know, do you not, that I come of my own. I have no connection with the court. I would save your husband, for if he is taken, I count myself among his murderers. Do you understand?
What do you want?
Goody Proctor, I have gone this 3 months like our Lord into the wilderness. I have sought the Christian way, for damnation is doubled on a minister who counsels men to lie.
It is no lie.
It is a lie. They are innocent.
No more, no more. I hear no more of that.
Well, let you not mistake your duty as I mistake my own. I came into this village like a bridegroom unto his beloved, bearing the gifts of high religion, the very crown of the holy law, I read. And what I possess with my right countenance is God. And where I turn my eyes, they say, blood flows. Beware of this process. Lead to no faith, and faith brings blood. It is a mistaken law that leads us to sacrifice. Plead with your husband. Prevail upon him to confess. Let him give his life. Well, not before the law of God, for it may be that God damns a liar much less than he that gives his life for pride. Plead with him, for I cannot think you will listen to another.
I think that it is devil out of me.
Woman, before God there is swine. You cannot read his will.
I cannot speak with you, sir. I lack discernment.
Woman, you are not summoned here for disputation. Be there no life contentment in you? You will die at dawn, your husband. Do you know that? What do you say? We have content with you? Are you made of stone? I tell you true. If I had no other evidence of your unnatural life, your dry eyes now would be sufficient evidence that you have summoned up your soul to hell. A very ape would be for such calamity. Has the devil dried up any tear of pity left in you? Remove her, and profit nothing that you speak to him.
Let me speak with you.
You will strive with him? Will you strive for confession, or will you not?
I promise nothing. Let me speak with you.
Pray, plead then, Excellency.
Mr. Proctor, you have been notified, have you not? I see light in the sky. Let you counsel with your wife, and may God help you turn your back into hell.
She desire from the cider, Mr. Proctor. God be with you.
You have a son.
The child.
It's Rose.
There is no word of the boy.
Farewell. Rebecca's dead.
You have not spoken to them.
I have not.
You are a marvel of this. Come for my life now.
I know it.
None has yet confessed.
There be many who say.
Who are they?
There be 101, they say. Pretty bad is one. I lay a good kind of one. There be many.
Rebecca?
Not Rebecca. She's one foot in heaven now, not to make her no more.
And Giles?
You have not heard of it?
I heard nothing more of her discussion.
Giles is dead.
When were he paid?
He were not him. He would not answer a nation's indictment, for he denied the charge. They hang him surely and auction out his property. So he stands and as Christian under the law. And so his son will have his farm. For it is the law. You cannot be condemned and withered unless he answers the indictment in their name.
Then, how does it matter?
They pray, Mr. John.
Pray.
Great stones, they lay upon his chest and tell his feet lay your hand.
thought I would confess to them. What say you if I were to give them that?
I cannot judge you, John.
What would you have me do?
What you will, I would have it. I want you, Sister John. That's sure.
Giles' wife, has she confessed?
She will not.
It is a pretense he was doing.
What is?
I do not mount to give it like a sin. I am not that man. My honesty is broken with this. I am no good man. Nothing spoils now by me giving him this lie that we're not running wrong before.
But you've not confessed to that. That's goodness to me.
Spite. Spite only keeps me silent. It is hard to give life to such dogs. I would have written forgiveness of this thing.
It is not from the Scripture. I'm only.
I would have to be so honest.
John, it is not for me to forgive you. Will you forgive yourself? It is your soul, John. Whatever you do, only be sure of it, for I know it now. Whatever you do, it be a good man that does it. I read my husband, sweetheart, John. I read my own sister, John. It takes a cruel wife to swamp like
Enough. Enough.
better you should know me.
I know you.
John, you take my ring from you.
No, I take my own. My